Jamie here on the bottom and Samuel on top. I think Jamie is not really aware of what he's about to witness in round 5.
I think he's going to have to read, like, every card.
Every single one of them, yeah.
Every single card, yeah.
Who on the dice roll here? Samuel's got the dice roll here.
Oh, he won't have to read that one. Okay,
yeah,
every other card, you know.
You'll be familiar with this. All right, we got Fenrir, no effect. And there it is. Okay, that's I think that's a good start. Gadget Trio.
Is he not reading it?
He
knows it.
No. Was he looking at his hand for like a disruption?
He was like, yeah, he knew what that did.
The psychology of do I interrupt the gadget trio or not here? Let me just get a reminder up of what this card does. But basically, it's the Yugi style silent archetype, I think, that he played near the end of Duel Monsters. So add a Shining Sarcophagus or a spell trap that mentions it. So literally just a Rhoda for the deck, any kind of card involving Shining Sarcophagus. And with Destroy by Battle card effect, you can set a stronghold of the fortress. Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, it's so cool to like see like a whole archetype like completely brought to life with cards that were played on the show. Like
once upon a time, yeah. It is established here with the Shining Sarcophagus. And now we're getting a search here. Jamie doesn't appear to have any responses.
Does he know what all of these cards do?
Does he know? I don't know. Does he know?
I mean, I don't. But does he? Like,
okay, he's reading one of them, so that's progress has been made, I suppose.
So there's the Swordsman and the Magician. Right?
I think we've got both silence out, right? So the way this works is it establishes like kind of like a not really a lock, but like really good protection here. So I think he can just negate a spell card, but he can protect his silent monsters from being targeted with the, I think it's Magician. So you're just establishing a controlling field here. Oh, and after all of this, of course, we're going to use the Fenrir once we've established this.
I mean, anything that targets a Shining Sarcophagus card, if you like, one that mentions Shining Sarcophagus.
Yeah. Okay, this is so disrespectful if we're getting rid of Fenrir, but not the other cards. Wait, is that Ghost Ogre?
Yeah, we just Ogre to Fenrir.
Oh, wow. Surely the continuous spell Shining Sarcophagus might be eventually doing something that we care more about, right?
Well, I guess this is the advantage of bringing a deck where people have no clue what is going on.
I'm going to feel, like, very disrespected if my opponent lets me... oh, talents, okay. If my opponent lets me do all of my Shining Sarcophagus plays, but then it's like, you know what? No, the problem is Fenrir.
Just going to Ogre that Fenrir.
What are we taking here? I think that's the... Is that Stake Your Soul? I think it's Stake Your Soul. It looks like we're just going to go for Raisin, it looks like. Is that double Raisin, actually? It's hard to see from the...
No, I think that's Heavy Borger.
Oh, Borgor, okay.
Stake Your Soul, Heavy Borger, and...
Still a good hand, to be fair.
The Infernoble that lets you search Raisin. However, that can be negated by either...
Yeah, we can negate Durandal.
Of Jamie's cards.
Yeah.
Either of Samuel's cards can negate it, right? Because it's a spell and it targets.
Yeah, true. I think you want to use the targeting one most likely first, right? Keep the spell one after.
If he'd left the Ogre, if he'd left the Fenrir, he could have targeted the Fenrir. And
I mean, I guess you would be forced to negate, but then you have to deal with Fenrir, and Fenrir is like really strong against Vanquished Soul. You can kind of typically only put one monster down first turn, but I suppose like you can try and tag out and dodge the Fenrir, so you do have ways to circumvent it. Let's see if we can do anything about that here. We're gonna use the Durandal, search for a Fire Warrior. And I think, oh, we're going to use a back row here instead of just negating. Interesting. Oh, Cosmic, that's pretty cool.
In the main deck.
Yeah, Cosmic's decent, right? Like, it's not like a terrible card to have. It has applications against absolutely everything, right?
Yeah, it seems odd. Why wouldn't you just use your targeting protection?
Well, he knows it's Vanquished Soul, and there's not really much else to Cosmic, right?
That's true.
Like, maybe you can, like, snipe the Snow Devil in the end phase, I think, but that's... I don't know, I feel like there isn't really much to Cosmic anyway.
But you can use targeting protection every turn. I don't know, it feels like more of a premium to use a card effect rather than a card, if you can.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Alright, well, I mean, we don't have Raisin access, right? It's just Borgor and Stake in the hand, and I think we have to reveal...
Stake Your Soul just got negated, so...
Oh, yeah, sure. So we're in a bad spot, I guess, actually.
Depends what that last card is.
We're not going to scoop, right? I mean, okay, yeah, we're passing, though. We're going to get a victory from Silent Swordsman's here, it looks like.
I mean, they get larger, right?
Yeah, they get bigger. I think it's like every battle phase for one of them and every standby for the other. They just
and I think they also get bigger when they use their negation effect as well.
Yeah, okay. What are we searching here? Is it a Silent Sword Slash? Nope, okay. I could not tell you what that is.
So you're going to be able to draw to 6?
Oh, right, that thing? Do you think so?
That original card of Sanctity effect.
Do you really want to like refill your opponent's hand here?
No, I don't know if that's what he's going to do, but that's one of the cards.
They do have a really cool battle phase draw 6. It's kind of nutty.
Both players. Oh, but it makes your guys bigger.
Yeah, I get the logic.
So
but
you win, you know.
Do you have enough damage with all of this? Okay, we're poking. Well, he hasn't used it yet, so if you wanted to do that, you would have used it now, surely, right?
Yeah, that could go really wrong if your opponent draws like Imperm and then...
just giving your opponent 4 cards here seems...
Yeah, you don't really want to do that, so maybe you just attack and chill.
Maybe those Future Silence, I think we added, or is that the draw 6 one? I'm gonna bring up the database here for you at home here so I can take a look at this. I think it was Future Sounds we added, right? This is just the add one. So you don't need to use that battle phase effect. You can just use it for searching. But it looks like he's just going to set and pass here. So it looks like we poked for a bit of damage. Wow, the silence really just don't get very big quick enough, I think, right?
I thought they were going to be much bigger, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even do half damage here. Still 2 back row, though, and the spell and targeting is now back online as well. So with 3 cards, that's a lot to try and push through.
Simon's still got plenty of cards to interact with. Jamie doesn't
fix
have
it
many.
up, all right. You'll have had on your bingo card this weekend for Vanquished Soul and Shining Sarcophagus, but a tale to be told for Samuel here if he can win this match on a feature of the National Championship in 2024. Jamie's leading with Rhoda. That's really strong. No Ash Blossom. You gotta keep them off Raisin as best as you can, and well, it's the best start in the deck.
Hey, Rhoda is a card that's seen like consistent play forever.
It's limited to 1 for a reason. Yeah, there was a world where you could play 3 of them. I think, funnily enough, of all that, do you know what deck it was that finally got it limited?
No, I can't remember. I feel like it's bounced around a few times, but maybe it's been at 1 for a while, right?
It was Necros. Because you could add Colossalas to get ritual spells, you get Shurit, which is pretty important. That was the format that...
You could get Bullblader, you know?
Yeah, you get a Jin out.
DD Warrior Ladies.
Sorry, we're showing our age right now. We've got Stake Your Soul, Your Nose is Mine. Here we've got the, I think, a Jiaolong reveal to special summon out.
You can reveal 2 Fire, I think? Or 2... I can't remember if it's 2 Vanquished Soul or 2 Fire, and you get to search a Vanquished Soul card.
Yeah.
So having extra ways to search cards is just excellent for this deck, because before it was only Raisin that could get you to your engine, but now we have Jiaolong as well.
Yeah, Jiaolong was a huge addition for the deck here, really just topped off that consistency.
And
that the deck
as you
needed.
mentioned, like it's really hard to get 2 monsters into play sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So Jiaolong as well has an effect to summon itself from the hand as long as you've revealed a Vanquished Soul. So it's another way to get extra monsters.
Yeah, getting lots of monsters on the field is just really good because you can... keep tagging them, and then every time you tag, you sort of do a unique effect that generates advantage. You can pop cards, add cards, draw cards, and that's really what you're trying to do here. Kind of going with that sort of like fighting game theme, I suppose, is sort of what they are kind of thematically attached to. You know, tagging in and out, using these powerful effects. Borgor as well is a lot of damages over the course of a duel here. Should you ever be in time with Vanquished Soul, you know, burning for 1500 is huge amount of damage when the clock is ticking.
Yeah, it stacks up quite quickly, especially when you can use it twice in quick succession, because you can use it on your turn and then during your opponent's draw phase as well. So even if it looks like you haven't been able to close out the game, if you've just got like 3000 burning coming as well, like that could be that.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, because of the quick succession part of it, you can get a lot of damage in a short span of time. So yeah, definitely a unique kind of advantage that Vanquished Soul has that some other decks might not necessarily benefit from. This is a great feeling, by the way, when you're like have your like full combo, quote unquote full combo. Okay. I think I know what I'm picking.
There it is.
Yeah. I was going to say, it feels really good, like when you get to do your full combo, deck thin, get resources out of the deck, and then go Prosperity, dig even deeper for those side deck cards. And that's an anti-spell Fragrance.
Yeah, anti-spell.
Just look at Samuel's hand. I think he's got like 4 spells in his hand. That's literally 4 spells.
He was running Cosmic Cyclone.
He was running Cosmic, yeah.
I think he deserves it if he had it in his main deck to have it for this anti-spell.
Yeah, you know, believe, heart of the cards, etc. Right? He has to if he's playing Shining Sarcophagus. So I simply trust that he will find an out to this. He hasn't made Rock of the Vanquisher yet.
Yugi himself.
Yeah, for sure. Borgar?
It's not quite as strong now because you've used Prosperity, so you can't draw any cards.
That is true, yeah. And the burn damage is also half, so it's oh yeah, Prosperity actually kind of doesn't fit super well with Borgar, but I think it's like a card like you absolutely have to play irrespective. You know, it's just too good to play to not play in a deck like this. You don't really need your extra spots, so you know you can sacrifice quite a decent amount multiple times in a turn in a duel as well if you need to. And yeah, just digging deeper for the reasons. And as we saw, one of the biggest advantages of Prosperity is post-side, digging for side deck cards that can just blow out the game like this. We'll see if Samuel's 4 spells can match anti-spell Fragrance here.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top 6 and picking one...
It's a spell!
How many cards would you count that as worth drawing? Like, if I said you could draw 2 cards or you could resolve Prosperity, which would you do?
In a theoretical situation of like, you know, do we want Pot of Greed or Prosperity? I think Prosperity, but if we're talking multiples, I think Pot of Greed, right? Because like you can draw into it.
But what if Pot of Greed you could only play? Like, what if Prosperity had no restriction, like Pot of Greed?
If Prosperity had no restriction?
Yeah, or it had the Pot of Greed had the same restriction as Pot of Prosperity. Which one would be better?
So I could prosp into Pot of Greed and draw?
No, you can. Let's say you can't draw after. You know, what's better, draw 2 or pick 6? If it had the same restrictions.
Oh, same restrictions. I think it has to be Prosperity, right?
It has to be Prosperity with Power Creep Pot of Greed.
There's no way. Well, we have a Power Creep Pot of Greed. You're like giving it fake conditions.
I'm giving it fake conditions. Yeah, okay.
All right, so we're also drawing with the Borgar here. Oh no, we don't have an out. Okay, yeah. Man, this is a trap deck, right? Surely?
Yeah,
these aren't just like
traps.
5 spells. Clearly not. It's really rough as well because I feel like Jamie should be able to just like end the game with the damage of Borgar last turn, which I think was 750. If he even did damage, he might not have actually done it.
Is there nothing happening in the end phase? Does he not have like Xiaolong or Borgar to use?
He looks like he is.
No, he drew.
Oh, did he drew for turn? Well, maybe he drew for the Borgar, no?
I looked like he drew. Yeah, but he didn't. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it.
Maybe it was the Borgar he drew for?
Yeah, maybe I missed him revealing some cards.
I mean, this is like scenarios that Vanquished Soul puts you in, by the way, where like, you know, everything we've talked about with all of the resource generation. I mean, look, like Jamie's hand is like, look at that. Like that's a lot.
That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's just out-skilling really well here with the 4 back row that have been set in response to anti-spell. So if he gets a turn, you know, Samuel could be locked and loaded. But unfortunately, you got to wait a turn on anti-spell here. It's another Raisin coming down.
Anti-spell, it just puts such a grind on things, because even if your spell is to then like search another spell.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue, isn't it? Because like even if you do get to play on like the turn 3, like as you said, you can just go from one choke point to another and you're back to square one.
And Caesar Valius can get a little feast on some of those set spells and traps if he's got the cards to reveal.
Yeah, that's another really crazy thing, because even if you don't like end the game, you can like pop one and then in their draw phase pop another.
Yeah, and Pantera's going to drop pop one too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, that would have been great to use last turn, you know, but unfortunately, anti-spell. So, what's your favorite spell to set under anti-spell?
Oh, all of them.
It's literally all of them. I mean, that's what Samuel's done.
Set all my spells under anti-spell. I just remember the first time someone told me that I could.
Gosh, this is like brutal. Look, we're just sniping every card we set here.
Like quick play spells, you have to wait like a turn as well. You have to wait until your next turn. It's really brutal.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes actually people can forget that because you know you got to wait that full turn cycle and a quick play.
Yeah, because it says they can't be activated until like that player's next turn.
Yeah, So even quick plays don't actually get around anti-spell, which is why it's so powerful. If you had to pick a continuous trap that's your favorite, what would be up there for you?
That's a good question. I like skill drain the most, I'd say.
Okay, so I assume Samuel will want to begin and establish that incredible field of the negate and protection. And if we can throw a Nadir in there as well, it's really strong because you know you get your Ecclesia plus trap or Fleur de Lis on top of that as well. And
that's not good. Oh no,
we didn't draw Gadget Trio. It seems
no Gadget Trio, no Shining Sarcophagus. The Talents is such a powerful card, but if you don't have any way to make your opponent...
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? Because if your opponent doesn't do anything or you're bricking, then, well...
It just adds to it.
Yeah, it's just such a snowball. And Jamie's got Prosperity here, so, I mean, I would assume Evenly Matched was probably put in here, but it's not a super great evenly in this situation.
Yeah, Evenly Matched, your opponent chooses to banish one of two face downs. It's like...
Yeah, it's...
I take it.
It's really funny. Like, we saw it in the last round. Okay. You can see Samuel's laughing here. Like, second card Duster. Okay, I have
the choice of Evenly or Duster, right?
I'm telling you, man. We need to bring back Waken the Dragon or something. I mean, it was never really here. Oh, wow. Actually opts to go for the Pantera, so he must be really low on engine, right?
Pantera can also destroy spells and traps, but... Yeah. You're right. Duster, to me, seems like if you had an engine, you'd snap that off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some anti-destruction effect is, you know, really not as popular. Don't really have to worry too much about that, but I think he's more than happy to dig here and just play the game as we normal summon Pantera into the middle column. Do you set your cards, like, consciously, or do you kind of just shuffle and then set your cards?
I try and, like, shuffle and set as little information as possible.
Yeah.
Someone told me a long time ago when I was a kid that people always set their most important cards first.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true.
And
look, I mean, there's an imperm here, see?
Like, as a rule of thumb, that's probably pretty good, but I feel like you should try consciously, like, not to give away any information about how you set your cards.
Yeah. All right. So I don't think we're going to be put anywhere near lethal range because usually you can do quite a significant amount of damage and then double Borgor. But we are on the Prosperity, so...
Is that a Dogmatica punishment?
It is a Dogmatica punishment targeting Zhao Long.
Oh, it's always a little dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, risking the tag out against Vanquished Soul is super rough. You just get Omega punished here if you have it, and it looks like we're revealing...
To search, right?
Okay, so this is not too bad.
Well,
oh, no, he does. Okay.
Oh, as well? So we get the search and the add? That is just brutal.
Yeah, and on top of this, you don't even send with the punishment because the monster that you initially targeted doesn't have attack stats since it's in the hand now. So you can't even get, like, the bonus, like, send off of punishment. So, yeah, the card just didn't do anything, right? Like, that's how it feels. You just went -2 or something in combination with all of your Vanquished Souls.
Yeah, I mean, the Imperm's not really... done any, it just got like activated by the Pantera.
Yeah, just forced out. And here's Raisin, who's just going to search for a Vanquished Soul.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie might not be able to put up the amount of damage this turn because of the Prosperity, but almost, yeah, you know, Samuel went first and pretty much passed anyway, so he's just swept through it.
Well, we'll see if we can mount a comeback here. I assume that Sam is probably like maybe just one engine piece away from actually beginning the game here. It's just really rough that, you know, two essentially like really powerful trap cards like that can really just end the game against some decks. Imperm punishment just played through like it was nothing for Vanquished Soul. Yeah,
that like having targeted cards against Vanquished Soul. So powerful sometimes just having cards that remove your own monsters from the field.
Yeah, yeah.
Like droplets and like Kirin in the Fire King deck.
It's really funny. You said Kirin. My first thought was Magispector Kirin. I would love to see that this weekend. It is back. Just saying, you know.
Yeah, we saw Magispectors at the UK Open. So.
Yeah, we did actually, didn't we? Was that with Kirin? I don't think that was with Kirin.
No, I don't think Kirin was back then.
No, that was with the Link 2 though. Yeah.
I don't think Kirin is quite what it once was. I think a once per turn bounce is not quite as.
All right, we're gonna have a falling out now.
You can put Kirin in a deck if you want and see how it works out.
You know, most Kirins are like really powerful cards. Like, name a bad Kirin. You know, it doesn't exist.
There was a Fire Avatar Kirin before the the new one, which I don't think anyone ever put in their deck.
No, it's good. You can like, what's the effect? It summons from the hand or something.
Well, if you knew what its effect was, you could vouch for it being a better card.
All Kirins are good Kirins. All right, so this is the Rock of the Vanquisher. Adds back, and then it can summon again from hand. Yeah, it's just so strong here. Half damage as well, of course, from the Borgor, but still a significant portion of life points dealt here. Samuel's really going to have to try and mount a comeback next turn, otherwise it's going to be a really rough spot. It could be, like, I don't want to count him out just yet. I think that Talents has the potential to be absolutely massive. We picked up a Fenrir, I want to say, which is a good card in and of its own right, but Samuel's clearly lacking, like, an engine piece, right? Like, a Gadget Trio is something he really needs.
I mean, Fenrir...
Is that a Gadget Trio, or is that a Fenrir? I feel like it's a Fenrir, right?
Fenrir at least will probably make the Talents live.
True, yeah.
But Jamie's doing quite a lot, I'm guessing, in the standby
Probably
phase.
Standby, yeah. Yeah. Thrust would have been nice in this scenario, I suppose, but we'll settle for Talents. Just searching out with Jiaolong here, more attributes and reveals for him, as well as being able to keep using the destruction effects.
Yeah, we've got something to destroy. We've probably got something to destroy with Caesar Valius now, if necessary.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah, it was actually the Gadget Trio. It kind of looks similar there. Imperm's going to be really rough.
Resolve, yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Has he got a cross out, maybe?
It's just, like, extra worse here because, like, your one engine piece that you need is negated and your Talents is still dead. It's past turn. Yeah, no, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be rough for Samuel.
Yeah, this is the...
Oh, but that's a Rock of the Vanquisher. That has to be used during the main phase, right?
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
So he is going to walk into the Talents.
All right. But what do you do here? I mean, do you draw? Is there extenders? Like, well, I guess, yeah, we could go for the Future Silence.
Yeah.
That might be really strong in the battle phase.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if your opponent's about to pass turn, you should just kind of let them.
Do you think so? Yeah, I mean, it is kind of greedy, right? Because like, you should be conscious of Talents.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he said he was going into the battle phase, but like, what's the battle phase going to do? You can't attack.
I think he was passing just based off of his hand gesture. You know, you get that little point.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if it was passing as well.
How many cards in hand? Oh, you know, like 9.
9,000, yeah.
Did we pop there, I think? And we drew?
Yes, I think that was popping in the end phase.
Oh, wait, what?